Good morning, students. In our previous classes, we have learned about different states of matter. Three states of matter mainly. What was that? Yes, solids, liquids, and gases. Now, all of you have seen ice, isn't it? Ice is the solid form of which thing? Water. Okay. So, when you heat a ice, what will happen? All of you must have done this in your childhood. When you heat water, ice ice changes to water. Okay, now what will happen if you heat this water further? This water will disappear, isn't it? You have seen about, say, water cycle in your small classes, isn't it? What is that water cycle? Due to heat of the sun, the water from the water bodies gets evaporated. Then after some time, when some conditions are favorable, this water vapor will condense, that is, they will cool. It will cool and will again fall as rain. So what is rain? Rain is also water, isn't it? So you know about water cycle also. So what can you conclude or infer from this? When you heat this water, water will change to water vapor. Then if you cool this water vapor will again converted to water. Now, I'm asking you to take this water to a freezer. That is, you are going to heat it or cool it. You are going to cool this water. Take this water to a freezer. And after some time, you will be getting again the ice form of water or the solid form of water. Okay. So, see, this is what you were doing. What was the thing that caused the change of ice to water or water to water vapor? It was heat. So we will write here as heating. Heating. So water to water vapor also is due to heating. And when you cool this water vapor, water vapor changes to water on cooling, water changes to ice on again cooling. So you can see, or what is the factor that caused this change of state? What is it? Yes, it was heat. Now let us see more about heat. What is heat actually? Heat, sound, light, all of these are, yes, very good. These are all forms of energy. So you can conclude that when we give energy to a particular state of matter, it is possible, it is not always possible, that is, it is possible to change the state from one to another. I said it is not always possible because you cannot change all substances to some other state by providing heat. Can you change this, say, take a wood piece and heat it? Can you change heat to a liquid heat? I don't think so. Or heat a plastic. Yes. So not all substance, but some substances can change their state, isn't it? So you have learned about the interparticle properties or the properties of particles in a state of matter. Okay. So we are going to connect this energy heat with, or what is the change that this heat causes to the particles in a substance. So first we can take the case of solid or ice. What is the property? I will draw a figure. Suppose these are the particles in ice. We know that in ice or in solids, the particles have very strongly bounded to each other. As a result, they are all continuously, or they are closely packed. So interparticle distance is very less because the interparticle force of attraction is very strong, isn't it? Okay, now I am going to give the energy that I am going to heat. That is, I am going to give some heat. That is energy to these particles. What will happen? When I give heat to these particles, it will gain energy. Obviously, it will gain energy. It will gain energy sufficient to overcome the force of attraction between the particles in solid, isn't it? and that attraction will be broken, not broken, but that magnitude will be reduced. So interparticle attraction reduces when heat is given to a solid or particles. Now what will happen? The particles will get more freedom to move and the interparticle space will be more, isn't it? Isn't it be so, or will it be so? Yes, of course. If you are all you have all played with some kite and toy, isn't it? The toy is the force that binds that kite to your hand. If that force is lost, that is, if that toy is broken, what will happen? The kite is free to move anywhere. Similarly, here also, when that force of attraction decreases, the particles are more free to move and they have more space between them. Okay. Now I am going to heat this liquid. This is the particle representation of this water. Now I am going to heat this water to convert it to vapor. So what will be the changes? First, the interparticle force of attraction which was existing in the liquid state will also decrease. As a result, the particle gets more freedom to move and the interparticle distance decreases very much. Okay. So this is what happens in this first half of this diagram. Okay. So the reason for all these changes is that we provided energy to the particles. Okay. That is the reason. Now if you are cooling it, what will happen? The reverse process will happen. When you cool it, this is cooling and this is heating. When you cool it, the energy of the particle decreases. Sorry, the energy of the particle decreases and it comes back to initial position, say liquid. When you cool liquid further, it comes back to the initial position, say solid. Okay, so we can just write like this. That is when energy increases. This arrow represents increase in energy or energy of the particle increases. What will happen? The interparticle force of attraction. I will write interparticle as IP. Don't write it in your exam paper like that. Since we have less space here, I am writing in short form. IPF. That is interparticle force of attraction decreases. A downward arrow. Then as a result, what will happen? Interparticle space increases. I will call it as IPS. IPS means interparticle space. And the particles have more freedom to move. So this is what happens when a change of state of matter occurs. This is what that is occurring in the internal parts of this matter, which we can't see with our naked eyes. Okay. So as a homework, you should find out more examples of this states of matter, which we make use in some say our industries and all. Okay. I will give you a clue that a blacksmith, a goldsmith, all of them use this type of property, this change of state of matter in their words. Please go and find out and prepare a note about this. Okay. So I hope you have understood this topic today. Thank you.